Today, we are going to discuss about semi-automatic lathe and Geneva indexing mechanism. Before going in detail about semi-automatic lathe and Geneva indexing mechanism, we should know about types of lathe. To get different machining conditions, various types of lathe have been developed. So, lathes are classified in many ways with respect to their size, design, method of drive and purpose. So the different types of lathes are conventional lathe, semi-automatic lathe and automatic lathe. Under the semi-automatic lathe, there are two important types are available. One is capstan lathe and turret lathe. Now let us discuss about semi-automatic lathes. In an ordinary center lathe, changing of tools and setting of tools consumes more time. Hence, rate of production will be very low. So because of this low in rate of production, the cost of production is also getting increased. So there is a necessity for change of center lathe into special lathes. See, these special lathes are called as semi-automatic lathe and automatic lathes. In semi-automatic lathes, the required tools are preset. More than one tool can be used to perform the specified task. This reduces the tool changing time, loading and unloading time. So because of this, the rate of production is getting increased. Hence, these are semi-automatic and automatic lathes are used for mass production industries. In semi-automatic lathe, all the machining operations are performed automatically, but loading and unloading of jobs, bringing the tools in a correct positions, coolant on, coolant off, and selection of spindle sweeps are manually performed. As already we know, semi-automatic lathes are two types. One is capstan lathe and turret lathe. But the construction and working principle of both these capstan lathe and turret lathes are very similar, but they are different in applications. The turret lathes are used for heavy jobs machining, whereas capstan lathes are used for light and small job machining applications. Now we will see the major parts in capstan and turret lathe. So this is a basic configuration of capstan lathe. This figure is a basic configuration of turret lathe. Now we will see one part names of these capstan and turret lathe. So this is a headstock, this is a tool post, this is cross slide, this is a hexagonal turret, this is a ram, so this one is a saddle, so this is a hand wheel, so this is lathe bed, so this is lead screw and feed rod. These two are the legs of this capstan lathe. In this capstan lathe, that hexagonal turret head is directly mounted on the ram. The ram is fixed on the saddle. Then the saddle is fixed on this lathe bed. Then we will move on to turret head parts. So this is a headstock. This is a cross slide. This is a tool post. This is a hexagonal turret. This is a turret saddle. So this is a hand wheel. So these two rods are called as lead screw rod and feed rod. And similarly, these two are called as legs of this turret lathe. In this turret lathe, the hexagonal turret head is directly mounted on the turret saddle. The saddle is fixed on the lathe bed guideways. With this knowledge, there are four important or requisites of capstan turret lathe should be discussed. One is bed, second one is headstock, third one is turret head and saddle, fourth one is cross slide. Bed already we know. First we will discuss about cross slide. There are two types of cross slides are available. One is reach over type cross slide. Second one is slide hung type cross slide. So first one is a reach over type cross slide, that is it is mounted on bed guideways in between of headstock and turret. It is also supported by a lower rail. These cross lights are having two tool posts. One is in the front and another one is on the rear side. Now we'll discuss about side hung type. This type of cross slide is entirely support on the front way, which has no rear tool post. It provides a greater swing capacity to accommodate larger diameter workpiece. It is mainly used in turret lathes. Now we will discuss about headstocks. Headstock of capstan length turret lathes is similar to a headstock in ordinary center lathe, but larger and heavier in construction to house the spindle and driving mechanisms. Here, that is in a capstan lathe and turret lathe, a powerful motor of 30 to 2000 rpm speeds are fitted. There are four main types of headstocks are used in this kind of capstan and turret lathe. That first one is a step cone pulley driven headstock, direct electric motor driven headstock, all geared headstock, and pre-selective headstock. So this is a turret saddle. Here in a turret lathe, hexagonal turret is directly mounted on the top of the turret saddle, and any movement of the turret is affected by the movement of the saddle. The movement of the turret may be affected by hand or power. So that is manual or power operated. Now we will discuss about the hexagonal turret head. Here the turret is a hexagonal shaped tool holder intended for holding 6 or more tools. Each face of the turret is accurately machined. So in this hexagonal turret head, you can see, so each face can accommodate one tool. So here this is a tap, second face can accommodate recess tool, third face is a reamer tool, fourth face we can accommodate boring bit, fifth face we can accommodate drill bit, and a sixth face, another sixth face we can accommodate another diameter drill bits. Similar like this, center of each face accurately bored holes are provided for accommodating shanks of different tool holders. The center line of each hole coincide with the axis of the lathe when aligned with the headstock spindle. In addition to these holes, that is in addition to these main holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, each face is having one main hole. Addition to this main hole, there are 4 tapped holes on each face of the turret for securing different holding attachments. Now we will discuss about the working principle of capstan and turret lathe. Here the workpieces are held in collets or chucks. I hope you know what is meant by collet. Collets are used to hold the hollow objects. Chuck already you know there are different types of chucks are there, that is 2-jaw chuck, 3-jaw chuck and 4-jaw chucks. In turret lathe, large workpieces are held by means of jaw or jaw chucks. Here a bar feeding mechanism is used for automatic feeding of the bar stock or workpiece. Here at least 11 tools can be set at a time in a turret and capstan lathe. So that is 6 tools are held on the turret faces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then 4 tools are in front tool post, that is here 1, 2, 3, 4. Then another one parting tool at the rear side of the tool post. Here the drilling here in the hexagonal turret head, the drilling, boring, reaming, counter boring, turning and threading tools are mounted on hexagonal turret head normally. Forming, chamfering, knurling and necking tools are mounted at the front end of the square turret. Here the parting of tool is mounted on the rear end of the square turret and is inverted or in a reversed position. Here, while machining, the turret head moves forward towards the job. Then after each operation, the turret will come back to its rear condition or home conditions. The turret head is indexed automatically and the next tool will come into position for performing the next operation. For doing this indexing, so that one mechanism will be used. That mechanism is called it as indexing mechanism or Geneva mechanism. Next slide, we are going to discuss about Geneva mechanism or indexing mechanism. So before that, we will discuss about the difference between capstan lathe and turret lathe. So here we can see the difference between the capstan lathe and turret lathe. Here in this is a capstan lathe, this is turret lathe. Here the turret head is mounted on a ram which slides over the saddle. Here turret head is directly mounted on the saddle, but it slides on the lathe bed. The turret movement is limited because depends upon the length of the ram only. The turret head will be moved forward and backward. So we can only that limited distance can be moved by the turret head. So we can accommodate only limited length of the component. Here the turret moves on the entire lathe bed of that turret, so we can able to accommodate lengthy objects in these machines. Here, hence in this capstan lathe, shorter workpiece can be machined. Here, this longer workpiece can be machined. In construction, it does not provide rigidity due to overhanging of this ram. So here, as you can see this figure, so the ram is like a cantilever arrangement. Here, one end of the ram is free, another end, that back end of the ram is only that fixed. So it is like a cantilever arrangement. In that ram only, that tool post is hexagonal turret head is fixed. So then in the hexagonal turret head, tool is mounted. So the tool is going to touch the workpiece. So because of this cantilever arrangement, there may be a chance for vibration on the tool while machining. So that is one of the disadvantages in capstan lathe. Here this hexagonal turret head is directly mounted on the saddle. So there is no overhanging type of this hexagonal turret head. So the tools fixed on this hexagonal turret head is rigid, so that the tool is going to touch that workpiece and machining will be performed. So there is no vibration will takes place when compared to capstan lathe. So it is suitable for light duty application. That is, capstan lathe is suitable for light duty applications. The turret lathe is suitable for heavy duty applications. Here the turret head can move manually. Here turret head cannot move manually. In this capstan lathe, the maximum size of 60 mm diameter work can be accommodated. Here in turret lathe, it can accommodate from 125 mm to 200 mm. Here, no crosswise movement of the turret. The reason is the turret head is mounted on this ram. Ram is moving forward and backward conditions. Hence, we cannot move the turret in opposite directions. So there is no, that is crosswise direction. So, but in the case of turret lathe, facing and turning are usually possible because there is a crosswise movement crosswise movement of the turret is possible. The reason is that the hexagonal turret is mounted on the saddle. Here overhanging type of cross slide is not used. Here overhanging type of cross slide is provided for some specific operations. So these are all the main difference between the capstan lathe and turret lathe. So generally the capstan lathe and turret lathe are specified by maximum size of the workpiece diameter, swing over cross slide and swing over bed. So we should know about the difference between swing over dia, swing over cross slide and swing over bed. Swing over dia is nothing but the maximum diameter of the component we can accommodate on the chuck. Swing over bed is nothing but the largest diameter that can be mounted without striking the bed. So this is not necessarily mean the largest diameter that can be machined. Swing over slide is nothing but it is a larger diameter that will clear the cross slide on the top of the carriage. So normally if you specify the capstan lathe and turret lathe, generally that size will be example 90-200-300. First 90 indicates that is workpiece diameter. The 200 indicates that swing over cross slide. Then third dimension indicates the swing over bed. Apart from this, there are important specifications are there for capstan and turret lathe. That is number of spindle speeds, number of feet for the carriage, number of feet for the turret or saddle, net weight of the machine, floor space required, power of the motor required. So these are all the important specifications of capstan and turret lathe. Generally, this turret lathe is having more advantage than capstan lathe. The reason is the turret lathe is used for producing higher number of components. That is, production rate is very high. Then heavier and larger workpieces can be done. Wider range of speeds is possible. Large number of tools can be held. More than one operations can be performed at the same time. Then labor cost is very less. So these are all the advantages of this turret lathe. Now we will discuss about Geneva mechanism or turret indexing mechanism. As already we discussed in that turret lathe and the capstan lathe, the hexagonal turret head is provided with automatic indexing mechanism. To index the turret by 1/6 of a revolution, or that is 60 degree of each phase, the ram is returned to the starting position. Then the next tool comes into position to perform the machining operations. Now we will see the part name of this Geneva indexing mechanism. The part number 1 is a hexagonal turret, 2 is a index plate, this is a bevel gear, then this is called as a ratchet, then part number 6 is nothing but a bevel pinion, then 7 is this portion is an indexing pawl, this is a screw stop rods, this is a lathe bed, so this is plunger activating cam, then this is called as pinion shaft, this portion is called as a pinion shaft, then 12th one is nothing but a stopper, this is a stopper, 13th part is nothing but a plunger pin, this is the small dot, this portion is a plunger pin, then part number 14 is a plunger, part number 15 is a plunger spring. So this mechanism is called as a Geneva mechanism. Here there is a small vertical spindle. Here now the center portion, there is a small vertical spindle fixed on the turret saddle. At the top of the spindle, the turret head is mounted just below the turret head on the same spindle. A circular indexing plate. This is a circular indexing plate having 6 slots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. A bevel gear and a ratchet are mounted on the same spindle. Here there is a spring actuated plunger mounted on the saddle which locks the index plate. This prevents the rotation of turret during the machining operations. A pin, this pin is fitted on the plunger, projects out of the housings. An actuated cam, this is a cam, the cam and an indexing pawl are fitted on the lathe bed at the required position. Both this cam and pawl are spring loaded, that is spring actuated. Here, when the turret reaches the backward position, that is after machining, the projecting pin on the plunger rides over the sloping surface of the cam. So the plunger is released from the groove of the index plate. Now the spring-loaded pawl engages the ratchet grooves and rotate this indexing plate. So the indexing plate and the turret spindle rotate through 1/6 of the revolution. That is, this is a hexagonal turret head. So each revolution will have a 60-degree rotation. Here, when the turret rotates, the bevel pinion also will start to rotate, and hence circular stop plate is also indexed by 1/6 of a revolution. The ratio of the teeth between the pinion and the gear is chosen according to this rotation. So these are all the Geneva mechanism or indexing mechanism.